Hey, what's up, everyone? Carl Williams here with Williams' Mind and Muscle Mechanics. Hope everyone had a safe Halloween yesterday. If you went out trick or treating with your kids, or if you went out, got dressed up and went to a Halloween party, whatever it was, hope everybody had a good time. Hope everybody was safe about it. Today, I want to talk about rep ranges. So, how many repetitions you should be doing, and how many sets you should be doing. Basically, because depending on what your goal is. If you're working on strength, if you want to build size, if you want to build definition, if you want to build endurance, athleticism, stuff like that. Well, depending on what your actual goal is, your rep ranges are definitely gonna change. There's ways to tailor your workouts to specific goals, and rep ranges are a really big way to do that. So basically, I want to start off with just talking about like your regular old 3 sets of 10. Everybody here, I'm sure everybody's heard of that. It's a pretty common rep range. I know when I first started out, that's pretty much what I always used to do. And I asked around, that's probably the most common one I've heard, 3 sets of 10. It's not necessarily the best rep range, but you pretty much can't really go wrong with it. You know what I mean? It's going to cover all your bases, basically. It's the 10 reps is enough time under tension that you are going to break down the muscles and build size. It's basically it's going to be the weights are going to be heavy enough, that the intensity is going to be there. You are going to build strength, and you are going to build endurance because 10 reps is still quite a few reps. That's a proper set. And anytime you're doing, I'd say that's probably right around the threshold, honestly, for building endurance, right around 10 reps. So as far as as well-rounded, 3 sets of 10 or just sets of 10 is basically that's pretty much you can't really go wrong. It's a safe bet. It's gonna cover all your bases. So moving up from there, if you want to get into let's say 10 to 12 reps. Well, 10 to 12 reps is more or less that's just like your bodybuilding. You're getting your bodybuilding territory now. So because it's a little bit more time under tension, but still you're not doing so many reps that your intensity is going to go out the window. You know what I mean? Because you're still keeping the weight heavy enough that it's still your intensity is still there. And with the extra time under tension, with the extra few reps, you're gonna have to lighten up your load a little bit to get those extra reps. You know what I mean? But as long as you're still you're still pushing yourself, you're gonna build strength still. You're gonna build size, endurance. 10 to 12 reps is probably my favorite rep range. You know what I mean? Because it's with lightening it up a little bit to do 12 reps instead of 10, it's gonna force you to focus too on your pump a lot more on your contraction. It's gonna your concentric motion, really focusing on that squeeze and really focus on your form. You know what I mean? It allows you to sort of do that. Whereas when you start getting into super heavyweight, well then that's form sort of tends to go out the window. So I don't know. I really like 10 to 12 reps because it's you're not going crazy heavy, but the intensity is still going to be there, and you're going to build all kinds of quality muscle. You're still going to be building strength. You're going to be building endurance. I don't know. 10 sets of 12 is that's my favorite range, and that's pretty much like bodybuilding is pretty much I'd say for the most part it's pretty common to see 10 to 12 reps in a bodybuilding regimen. You know what I mean? Just a really good rep range. My personal favorite rep range. You know what I mean? Moving up even higher than that. So if you're going 12 to 15 reps, now you're sort of looking at now you're more or less moving into an endurance range. Okay, so you're more focusing on athleticism, endurance, conditioning. You know what I mean? This is more that's sort of a rep range more for people who are in sports. You know what I mean? If you want to strengthen your slap shot or something like that, you know what I mean? Doing sets of 15 of your core twists or something like that. That's really going to help that. But as far as building muscle, building strength, I mean you're still going to build some to some degree, but now you're far enough away from that that intensity. Your intensity is basically going out the window enough that you're not really going to you're gonna build muscle and strength, but just not very fast. You know what I mean? It's not the ideal range to work on strength and and hypertrophy. It's definitely more for endurance. You know what I mean? So basically, like as you can see, like so let's say like 10 was like your baseline, right? Well, the further you move up from that 10, well, the more into like endurance you're going, and like the further away, definitely the further away from strength you're moving. And as far as building size, like I said, like 10 to 12 is pretty much the ideal range. Like anything less than that, and you're going more for strength, and anything more than that, you're going more for endurance. Okay, so like I mean, like 10 sets, 10 reps, 10 to 12 reps, pretty much that's like your hypertrophy range. 12 to 15, that's like your endurance range, you know. And then if we were to take it back the other way and go like 8 to 10, well, like I was just saying, now you're moving more towards strength, you know. 8 to 10 reps is still enough that you are going to have breakdown of the muscle. You are still going to build hypertrophy. You know, you are still going to build endurance to a degree, but you know, it's sort of going to have the opposite effect as increasing reps, right? So you're going to be moving more away from endurance and more into strength. And the more towards strength you go, well, the less of everything else you're sort of going to have. You know, so finally we end off with our 5 sets of 5. Well, 5 sets of 5, that's pretty much your power lifters rep range. You know what I mean? Like a lot of power lifters do 5x5s because you know you're going heavy. 5 reps isn't really enough reps to like break down the muscle a lot. You know what I mean? So you can basically heal from 5 reps a lot faster, meaning you can lift more often, heavy lifts more often. You know what I mean? It doesn't take quite as, you know, you don't have to take as many days in between your workouts, and you can really focus on pushing up that power. You know. So yeah, basically, like, you know what I mean? It's no need to complicate it. It's just as simple as that, right? Basically, you start with your 10. 10 is pretty much right in the middle. The higher you go, the more towards endurance you're going, and the lower you go, the more towards strength you're going, right? With your hypertrophy being pretty much like right in the middle. So yeah, I'll throw up a little chart here for everyone, so you can sort of look at it. So like the numbers that are going to be in green, those are, you know, obviously that means that rep range is ideal for that goal. And if the numbers are, you know, the more red they are, obviously it means you're not really, it's not the ideal exercise, not the ideal rep range for what you're trying to do. So I hope this helps out. You know, if you like my videos, like and subscribe, and have a good day, everyone.